So I've got a book coming out called Your First Year. Now, crazy story because I'm in Thailand and the other day the SSD card of my laptop actually stopped working, right? My laptop fucked up. So I've driven on the motorbike like 30 minutes across the island of Phuket and they've told me my SSD card's done and she's basically said that all your memory's gone, all your shit's done. Now, guess who was writing the book on Microsoft Word and not Google Docs, right? Me. I started on Google Docs, and what happened was because I was doing it on flights, and I thought, and look, listen, I can pay for the internet. Don't get me wrong, I can pay for the internet, but I thought, hmm, if I do it on Words, not the Google Docs, right? Then and I don't even get the internet, then I can just literally focus, not get distracted by any type of YouTube, any type of internet notifications as you do when you're on the internet. So I started writing on Microsoft Word. Everything was good, everything was sweet, and I've actually done quite a lot, and it's all on that SSD card. Now, I'm hoping that when I send it off to Bangkok for them to recover the data, that it all will be well, right? So fingers crossed. But however, like whatever the case, I'm gonna flip and write. I'll write it again. I've got the knowledge in my head. I know what I want to write, and I'll just write it better, 10 times better, if that's the case, right? But the book rather, it's all about your first year in business, right? I am yet to be a millionaire. I will be very soon, right? So I can't talk to you about becoming a millionaire yet, right? I can talk to you about, making six figures or creating a six-figure business or multi-six-figure business, doing it multiple times, and that's all great, right? But for what am I really good at? Well, I'm good at this. I made a lot of mistakes going into business, a ton of mistakes, right? And some people may, write books who literally just smashed it their first year, right? Or smashed it within 2 years. Had all the guidance going into business, had all the knowledge, and just smashed it. And that is a lot of the people who are writing books. But a lot of us going into business are people who are coming from adverse backgrounds, who are coming from adversity, from troubles and challenges and different scenarios, right? So we're not necessarily, going in with all the, no matter how many books there are, right? Because there's a lot of things that these books don't cover when it comes to making the right decisions going into business. And that is what this book is all about, your first year. It's all about, your first year in business, all the things to consider, all the mistakes that you can avoid, just to really give you the right run up and the right kickstart to your business, right? So like I said, this video is not just a plug for the book, but it's based off a lot of the things that I'm going to talk about in the book, right? So I'm going to talk about 3 points, 3 things you need to think about if you're just looking to go and start your business this year, right? Whether it's an online fitness coaching business or something else. So without further ado, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. But let's get it, right? I'm literally in the middle of the rocks. People are hiking. There's so much going on, but I'm gonna stay focused. So number one is deciding what type of business you're gonna go into. All right. This was a big mistake I made when I went into business because I didn't really look at all factors included. I just thought there's limited options. This is what I can do. This is what I can't do, and let's go with this, right? And the truth of the matter is, business is an abundant place, right? There's so many different types of businesses. There's so many problems that need solving, okay? So you never have to make a rash decision and think that, well, this is what everyone's doing. This is the most common business to start for my industry. Here we go. You really need to look at yourself and your personality. Right, what do you mean personality, Mike? What do you mean by that? And what I mean is essentially that everybody's different, okay? If you're quite an extroverted person, if you're very, not even extroverted, I'll use myself as an example, right? I'm naturally very outgoing, okay? I might not be an extrovert, but I'm very outgoing. A lot of the businesses I started as a young kid and all of these were very like, just things that I had to go out, feel, touch, and, stuff like that. So naturally, I didn't do a lot of online stuff, right? And I would say, based on my personality, I'm not really gravitated or drawn to a job where I'm just literally stuck at my laptop. Now, have I had to make it work and compromise? Yes. And will you have to compromise regardless of what business structure you choose? Yes, of course. However, you can make decisions when you start that can change the game for you. I'll give you one, right? And this is going to rock some of you, and I don't want you to start overthinking and whatnot. But with the knowledge I know now, if I was to start my online coaching business again 2, 3, 4 years ago, just with where I am or where I was there, like if me now, it would be a little bit different. But with who I was and the type of person I was there, I probably would have started and stayed at a low ticket sort of pricing. Reason being is, do I want to be coaching 50 to 100 people very personally, like really one to one ish, like changing all their programs regularly, checking over their meal plans, even with assistant coaches and stuff like that? Because you're going to have to start it up yourself. You're going to have to like really launch it yourself. Now, do I want to do that? No. Or did I really want to do that at the time? No. And that's probably what stunted my growth a little bit, because I just wasn't enjoying it. So when I would get to 20 clients, 30 clients, I would mismanage the clients. I would mismanage the fulfillment side of it, because my heart wasn't in it like that. Now, since then, I've changed, I've adapted, I've had to compromise because I lent into that, let's say, the wrong business type at the time. And, things have changed. And I do actually find an enjoyment of like going through the nitty gritties and really like, being on the laptop and sweating it out. Now I'm more balanced. But to give myself the best head start, if I was to go back, I would have done it the other way. All right. And what that is playing to your strengths. Okay. Because if you can play to your strengths, then you're going to flip and win. The reason you might see some people start something and fly in a year or 2 years is that they're playing to their strengths. They're literally in the field that like literally just makes sense to them. Like if you think of some of these YouTubers like Iman Gadzhi and who else, man? Even like Charlie Morgan, who's actually in a similar industry than us. Like, respectfully, because I know I'm probably going to meet you guys and everything like that, but they're kind of like, you can tell these are like, it's the right word to use, but they're a bit nerdy. And I don't mean nerdy as in any disrespectful way. I mean like, they're very, you can tell these are people that would be very technical and very, like meticulous, like prone to being on their laptop, working things out, very smart and educated in the schools, maybe not in school itself, but very educated, like in that sense, right? This is just from what I see from the outside. So them leaning into these online businesses where they're making content and they're editing and they're doing sales and all these little things and working off their laptop. Funny story, the video actually cut off by accident, so I'm re-recording this. That's the negative of recording on your phone, but it is what it is. So I missed out my second point, but it was good because I actually forgot the first point and I was able to go back, watch the video and remember. So yeah, just pick a business and a style of business that suits you. You don't have to, don't be rigid with it. Pick a style of business that suits you. Play to your strengths, because when you do that, you're going to thrive. You're going to grow a lot quicker. And those people that you see and it feels like they just smash it really quickly, you're going to be one of them the minute you decide to play to your strengths. Now, I'm not saying don't start a laptop business, stay in person. And look, some people might actually really, it might benefit you to stay in person, but and just optimize how you do that. Everyone can use a mentor, especially a business mentor, depending on no matter what type of business you do, right? Some of you, that could be the actual trick. You could say, I really love in person, but I'm not making enough money. Well, maybe you need to do something scalable on the side, like a low ticket online coaching business, which gives you the money to be a really exclusive in-person PT. So do business in your terms. Number 2 was pressure, makes diamonds. We all heard that quote, but too much pressure bursts pipes. So in your business, you have to understand that money and cash flow is oxygen for the business. All right, it keeps things flowing. If you know that you've got enough money for, the business expenses, marketing costs, any emergency things you have to spend, and also for your own, to take something home with yourself, for tax as well, then you're gonna operate in business in a place that's a more positive. You're going to feel more abundant. You're not going to be panicked. You're not going to be making crazy decisions. You're not going to be in what we call survival mode. When you don't have those reserves, you don't have that cash flow, and things are a bit of a struggle, that's when you're making panic decisions because you're in survival mode, right? And survival mode is good for probably one thing, which is getting out of survival mode, right? So survival mode is good for that, but it's not the best for like growing an abundant business, right? It's not like the best for thriving and getting to the real next level. So you just gotta make sure that, and I'm saying this to say that a lot of people are in a rush to go full-time self-employed, full-time online, full-time whatever, and you don't want to be in a state that I was in at a point where I went online, fully online, and I hadn't gotten my shit straight. And there was a time where I was looking at handing in CVs, many a times really, when I was looking at, look, all right, I might need to get a job because things ain't thinking. You know, they ain't doing what they need to do. So you don't want to put yourself in that position. So make sure that, look, if you're in a full-time job, you don't have to rush into, and I know, like, because when we start seeing people online and we see the vision, we see people boasting about how they're fully online and they did it in 6 months, and you know they work for themselves, and we see all the benefits, right? I remember I had a mentor who used to like mock still being a PT in the gym, like always constantly just mocking and getting on to those who were still on the gym, and that led me more towards, and I actually played a part in me quitting the gym floor. And it's like, I get it, but you shouldn't do it prematurely, okay? And not just the gym. Don't get me wrong. If you're in the wrong gym, some of you would actually benefit from quitting just for the fact that you're in the wrong gym and you're paying them too much rent. But there's ways around it. You can optimize it. You can go to a better gym where you're paying a lot less rent. You're still making some money from the gym, and you're still making money on the online, and you're growing your online business. Or you might be someone who's in a full-time job and you just want to quit. Don't quit straight away. Like, make sure you're building up the cash reserves. You're building your online business. You don't have to run your business like someone who's got 20 online clients already if you've only got 5 or you've only got 10. Do your full-time job, run your business, and optimize it in a way that it works. It works around your job and your lifestyle, right? You know, you can edit content one day on a weekend, maybe schedule it out the next day and shoot it and edit it up one day or whatever. And then, you know, maybe you just talk to your clients for 30 minutes, 3 days out of the week, right? And maybe you edit plans and stuff like that once a week or once every 2 weeks. And that way, you don't even feel it like that, right? You're still giving out value, you're still doing a great service, but you can balance it around your full-time job until you've built up that good reserves, you've built up that good cash flow in your business, you've hired a mentor, you've found multiple strategies that work for you and get you constant business, and now you can quit, you know, when the time's right. Okay, so we've covered playing to your strengths and really picking the right, going into the right type of business model. We've covered making sure that, you know, you don't put yourself under too much pressure in business. And I think the last thing that I'll say just for this video, in terms of your first year, is going to be, yeah, getting the right mentorship, okay, and at the right time too. Listen, you don't have to, you know, I'm like, some people talk about like getting loans, and there's a lot of, you know, especially in the property industry, right? You've got a lot of charlatans, should we call them, and con artists that they're selling these property courses, right? Where I'm going to show you how to make so much money off of property, and they're selling it for like 5K, 10K, 15, 20, whatever the flip they may be. And you hear stories of people who go to these seminars, they listen to it, and they get inspired, and they're taking out loans there and then to pay for the mentorship, right? I don't think you need to do that. I don't think and let me correct myself, right? Every situation is individual to the person, okay? If you're in a place where it's like you're making like you're doing whatever you're doing, maybe you've got a normal job, you are doing you know, you've started your online coaching business or whatever business it is, you know, you want to do whatever you want to do, and well, you will keep it online, because the property one is a scam to me. It's a big scam, because at the end of the day, you need money to invest in the property anyway, so you're better off just investing in property using fucking YouTube. It's a big scam. But listen, let's say online coaching business, right, or some sort of service business. Let's say you're working a full-time job, you've started out that business slowly, but you know that if somebody was on your side, if you knew the strategies, if you had a mentor who really knew how to take you to the next level, it could. And let's say this mentor costs £3,000 or 5,000, and you just don't really have that savings right now, or it's going to heavily affect your savings, and you say, you know what, I want to take a loan, because at the end of the day, I'm going to use that loan. I'm investing it, right? Because I'm going to invest in this mentor. I don't have to further invest, because the strategies they're going to teach me are mainly organic, or maybe I still have some money out of that loan to invest in the ads if they're teaching me an ad strategy. And I'm going to be able to start paying that back rather than paying a mentor, because maybe I get a discount when I pay in full to that mentor. That is why I say situations are individual, right? Like, I'm not just going to wipe everything with the same brush. That might make sense. But what I don't really respect, see the point in is, people just starting mentorships at the wrong time. But, make sure that you know your mentor, you know who you need to go to, you know that when the time's right, you know who you got to go for, okay? Because that's going to sort you out, man. That's going to sort you out, the right person, all right? But not just and listen, this is a real good technique that someone, an American guy who makes a lot of content taught me, right? Just through his content. And he said that when he's about to go sign up to a mentor, what he'll do is he'll consume that mentor's free content. Fucking hell. I thought it was going to do that. Fuck me, man. Thankfully, I got no laptop or anything from me. Jesus. But yeah, yeah, we're good, we're good. So yeah, he said that before he goes to a mentor and he consumes their content, before he signs up for a mentor and pays them for their program, he will consume their free content. If they're good, they usually give a lot of their free strategies. He'll try it, he'll action those free strategies, make money from it. So the aim will be to make money from those strategies, because if they're true and the content and the mentor is genuine, then it should work and they should make money. And then when he's made money from it, he's proven the concept, then he will invest. I think that is the perfect strategy for anyone right now. We have a ton of resources. We actually have a free community right now where it literally is called the Make Your First £1,000 Online Challenge. Anyone on £1,000 online community, so you can literally jump in that community, test everything. Like we give you everything you need to do, resources as well. Make your first £1,000 online. We have a community after that that's only £47 a month. So you can go through our way of doing it and move up until you actually pay for us. But I think that everyone needs a mentor. Let's be flipping honest. Like we paid money, we paid over £50,000 for mentorship. We're still going to pay a lot more for mentorship. Let's be very honest with it. And everyone is going to need it because it just saves you time. And last thing I'll say about mentorship is it's the nuances that really change the game when it comes to mentorship. It's not, oh, I'm going to teach you some crazy strategies and all of that. Because again, most of us talk about our strategies already, like for free. But it's usually the little nuances because you are a unique individual. So like I started the video talking about your personality, what type of business model you choose to go into. Although I might have done what you wanted, like you're planning to do, no one's really done it as you, from your background with your specific story. So when you have somebody who has walked that walk before, who has gone through the various, like challenges and has seen what that road has to offer, they can look at your situation and say, based on your situation, what I know about you, this is what you'd be better off doing. Okay, they're in a good position to do that for you. So I think every one of us need that. Someone, a new set of eyes. We had a consultation call with one of our old mentors recently who just looked over what we was doing. And it was literally right as the call was ending, right? He said something like, maybe you should just do this, like, and it's like, right, it just hit us like a ton of bricks. So just having a third set of eyes can be really, really powerful, man. Really, really powerful. So a second set of eyes, not a third. But yeah, man, that's the first year. Like I said, the book will be out soon. I will keep you updated if the SSD card gets recovered. Regardless, the book will be out this year. It will have a ton of value, ton of things for you to dive into. For now, just like, share, subscribe. If this helped you, drop a comment as well. Peace.